ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। Shri Ramakrishna is continuing, but it is not good to say that what we ourselves think of God is the only truth, and what others think is false. That because we think of God as formless, therefore He is formless and cannot have any form. That's because we think of God as having form, therefore He has form and cannot be formless. Can a man really fathom God's nature? Just because we are thinking God to be with form, to say God is with form and is always without form, that is not right, because I believe in it is all right. But because I believe in it that God is with form, I can never say God is not without form. The God without form is false, we cannot say. I believe in it is the expression, right expression. Because I believe in God without form, I can never say God with form is false, or God cannot have form at all. So, who can understand? Sri Ramakrishna is telling, can a man really fathom God's nature? What God is? Man's very little mind, very little intellect. Can this small intellect contain what is infinite, what is eternal? Can finite depict, however great the intellect be, can the finite depict what the infinite is? This kind of friction exists between the Vaishnavas and the Shaktas. The Vaishnavas say, my Keshav is the only savior, whereas the Shaktas insist, my Bhagavati is the only savior. Once I took Vaishnava Charan to Mathur Babu. Now Vaishnava Charan was very learned Vaishnava and an orthodox devotee of his sect. Mathur, on the other hand, was a devotee of Divine Mother. They were engaged in a friendly discussion when suddenly Vaishnava Charan said, Keshav is the only savior. No sooner did Madhur hear this than his face became red. And with anger, he blurted out, you rascal, all laugh. He was Shakta. Was not it natural for him to say, I gave Vaishnava Charan a nudge. I see people who talk about religion constantly quarreling with one another. Hindus, Musalmans, Brahmos, Shaktas, Vaishnavas, Shaivas, all quarrel with one another. They have not the intelligence to understand that he who is called Krishna is also Shiva, and the primal Shakti, and that it is he, again, who is called Jesus and Allah. There is only one Rama, and he has 1,000 names. Sri Ramakrishna is telling that how the religious distinctions. He is causing a difference. Now, the whole thing, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, you may be calling by different names the same substance. He gives later on very often how each one getting into the water of the same pond call the water with different terms according to the language they use. And they need not quarrel about it. Why Sri Ramakrishna is telling this is, in those days especially, religion and sects were very strong and they were holding on to it in such a way that they could not tolerate other against it. To that extent it was. After Sri Ramakrishna came, he had come down to earth to bring that religious harmony. Sri Ramakrishna went through each of the path leading to God. And finally he saw it is making them all reach the zenith, the uppermost cliff of the mountain. They are starting from different places around the mountain. Their path is different, their direction is different. But where they climb, when they go on climbing from different places, facing different directions, with different ways, because a mountain has its own surfaces. And when this happens, each one is telling, my path is right. And even after many having realized the truth, climbing to the highest paramount, still the total eradication of that, God can be reached by different paths. They all are climbing from different places around the mountain. And when they go to the apex, the highest point, the summit, when they reach the summit, they must be able to see others coming down from different directions to the same. The total perfect, even if it is few steps behind, you can't see what is happening, where from the other person is coming. You've gone to almost to the end. 90% you have climbed in the spiritual world. You have not touched the summit. Then there's still difference remain. He is climbing from some other person, climbing from some other direction, with the same of reaching the zenith. Now you see, they start from the same point, common point, spirituality, divinity, and it culminates, the path culminates in the same divinity and spirituality. Around the mountain, they all start from the same point, on the earth. From earth they start, and to the peak they move. When they reach the peak only, till then, how many you can think of in every religion who has reached the ultimate in the religious path? Whole of the history, if you see, through each religion, a few might have reached and they have nothing to say. They become silent because one is looking as many. And if they try to tell, they'll be prosecuted because others think it is false. He's telling a lie. Because the scriptures and holding on to scriptures and interpreting scriptures in their own way. What is exactly meant by a scriptural expression is very difficult to know and very difficult to understand, because it is something of a transcendental nature which mind and intellect cannot comprehend. Suppose a person, Sri Ramakrishna gives the example, there was a huge fort. From any direction people could not know what is inside the fort. And some people struggled to climb and see what is inside. When with great struggle he climbed up and stood on the wall, he just exclaimed, "Ha!" and jumped inside. Now who is there to bring the news? What happened? What is there? Another climbed and jumped. Another climbed and jumped. And after many, one came back to tell what is there, but he cannot explain. Even what exactly is in your mind, suppose you go and come, see a thing, exact picture you cannot give. Your facial expressions, or your bodily expressions, make them understand a little what is inside your heart, because it belongs to a different. Now, suppose a person tells about a dream. These are ordinary dreams. What he exactly dreamt, we can never know. One who has seen the dream alone knows. He tries to tell in words. Words cannot describe what he has seen. What is the very dullest thing or the far-off thing. Even expressions we cannot understand. So here we see the scriptures tell in a way of the transcendental which our intellect cannot grasp. But otherwise there is no proof of existence of God. Existence of God, existence of Atman, self, independent of bodily existence. We cannot understand what it is beyond time and space. What is infinity, we can never know. Because in infinity, when we reach the infinity, there is no duality. It is infinite, one. If anything remains other than the infinity, it is not infinite, it's still finite. Because apart from it, another thing exists. So infinity means there is one, without a second. There is nothing to limit it. So this infinity, when he reaches, he becomes silent. Because whom to tell? Who is there? Other one trying to understand or hear. What do you experience in deep sleep, second stage, deep sleep? We can never explain to anybody. Because there is no name, there is no form, there is no object, a subject without an object, how it would be, absence of all things, this is all we can tell. But it is not the truth. He is there. He himself is there. Nothing is there. Absence of shunya we cannot say in deep sleep. Because only one is there and it is he. Now when there is a big hall, a person is sitting inside. A person comes from outside, oh, here is a person, and goes off. And nobody is there inside. A person comes inside, oh, nobody is there here. But he is there. For an outsider, he is seeing one person inside. The inside one who has gone alone, he says, nobody is here. Because he is there, he forgets. He is not including himself. He becomes the subject and he is not understanding his object also. He thinks nobody is here, but he himself is there. An onlooker sees a person is already there in the room. So that is the thing. When we are in deep sleep, nothing else is there, but I am there. That cannot be explained. What is that I am in the deep sleep when nothing else is there? So when trying to express what I have seen in deep sleep, many things, many words can be used, but it is not the experience what the person experiences in deep sleep. So when they say anything about God, the spiritual, the divine, it becomes a limited thing again. This limited thing because of the observer's limitation behind, and when it is told, the receiver's limitation also makes it much more limited. So the quarrel comes. They don't understand what has been told is infinite. There is one which cannot be explained. I see people who talk about religion constantly quarreling with one another. Hindus, Muslims, Brahmos, Shaktas, Vaishnavas, Shaivas, all quarrel with each other. They have not the intelligence to understand that he who is Krishna is also Shiva and the primal Shakti, and that is he again who is called the Jesus and Allah. How beautiful, you see. You believe in an aspect of God. It is the God who is, a Muslim is calling Allah, and is the God who the Christian is calling Jesus. Same is, a person is believing in Shiva, he doesn't understand Shiva means, or Shiva includes Jesus and Allah. As if they are separate, independent things, we view. There is one, how do we have to understand? There is only one Rama and he has thousands names. And has 1,000 names. Innumerable. Sea is one and it has innumerable waves of different shapes. You take the photograph of each wave, how it appears, how it exists, how it dissolves back. No two waves will be of the same magnitude and same size, and each is entirely different. Never two matches. Wait for millions and millions of years. Even a drop difference is sufficient to make one different from other. Even in human beings, no two are identical. Maximum similarity may be there of the whole human population. 4 or 5, you may find a little similar to each other, but equal to each other won't be there. Truth is one. Only it is called by different names. All people are seeking the same truth. The variation is due to climate, temperament, and name. A lake has many ghats. From one ghat, Hindu takes water in jars and calls it jal. From another ghat, the Muslim takes the water in leather bags and calls it pani. From a third, the Christian take the same thing and call it water. All laugh. Suppose someone says that the thing is not jal, but it is pani, or that it is not pani but water, or that it is not water but jal, it would indeed be ridiculous. But this very thing is at the root of the friction among the people, their misunderstandings and quarrels. Not clear understanding of what it is. Different names, one object. Even in relationship, you see, the view in which we see a person, and all my dealings with that person is dependent on what I have, what I am seeing in it, him or her. Suppose there is a woman, someone calls that woman as my daughter, and her attitude is exactly, he is looking upon that girl or woman as his daughter or her daughter. Someone calls the same woman as mother. His attitude, his vision, his understanding, everything with her is a child looking at mother, a son or daughter looking at mother. Someone calls the same woman as my sister. She is seeing a sister alone, neither mother nor daughter. Person is one. Just like we differentiate Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. Most of the people have the understanding Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara are different entities or different devatas all together, unrelated to each. No, it is only one Parameshwara who appears to us, or he gets the epithet of Brahma or name of Brahma when he is creating and when he is maintaining his power, energy which is being replaced. Now he is called Vishnu. When retraction is going on, dissolution is going on, the power which manages the dissolution is the same Ishvara who has created it, who has sustained it. But now, while reversing, while dissolving the universe, he is called, who is supervising, who is managing that action of withdrawal, is that power, that consciousness, is called Maheshwara, Brahma, Vishnu. Just like I am in the morning a teacher, in the afternoon a driver, and in the evening I am working as a tailor. My dresses, my instruments all change. In school I go with a coat and with a chalk and writing on the board. These are my instruments and this is my dress. When I become a driver, I put on a hat, the uniform of a driver. My dress has changed. I am called driver. I am the same person who is teaching in the morning. My dress has changed. My powers has changed. My Shakti, the energy, the power which I am using. The morning as teacher, the teacher's qualities and teacher's powers were there. Shakti of a teacher, and that is withdrawn, and driver's Shakti as driver is projected out. His action has changed, his power has changed. He is not a teacher now. Teacher power is not being used here. Teacher power is dissolved back in it. Driver power is driver Shakti, driver energy, driver attitude has come out. Similarly, in the evening, this driver Shakti is withdrawn and he is called a tailor. The tailor qualities, tailor, all gunas also change, profession also changes, but the person is same. Engaged in different activities, same person is called. person goes to office, he's called a manager. In the house, he is no more manager when he comes back. He is a householder. So this person is same, but being engaged in different type of activities, he has different names. So he is master in the morning, then in the afternoon, when he changes, he becomes a driver in the afternoon, a tailor in the evening. Brahma is the creator, same entity. When he is maintaining, he is called Vishnu, the all-pervading, and Brahma, the creative power. And then here the destructive power comes out, and the maintenance power dissolves back, and is called Maheshwara. Power also changes. The power to teach, power to drive, power to stitch. The three powers are withdrawing and projecting. So now this is the whole of the one is appearing as many. Why you are every day experiencing dream? One mind is becoming the whole dream world. How many items, multifarious entities? Only one is there. Mind. When you wake up, you will see mind alone is there, which has taken a form of a universe, including my bodily existence. It is depicting there. So this universe, one God has become this whole universe. Water gel. It is ridiculous. But this very thing is at the root of the friction among sects, their misunderstandings and quarrels. This is why people injure and kill one another, shed blood in the name of religion. But this is not good. Everyone is going towards God. They will all realize Him if they have sincerity and longing of heart. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.